We always need back stretches, right? Yes, so today we're just doing a couple of very basic, very simple stretches for your back to mobilize the spine and also to help with postural alignment. So join me on the mat. A simple cat stretch, cat and cow stretch. We're going to press the shins into the floor. We align our hands underneath our shoulders and we make sure that we are pulling the belly button up against that spine to support the back. To the back and the tummy muscles always co-contracting to keep your spine in a good position. Then from there, you're going to start thinking of your tailbone, your coccyx, your tailbone tipping towards the floor. You're going to slowly go one vertebra at a time, rippling into your upper back, neck, head, and shoulders to follow, continuing that line through your spine. Press the earth away through your heels of your hands. Try not to hunch over into the shoulders. Shoulders away from the ears to keep the integrity of the space between the ear and the shoulder and the space in the cervical spine. And then from there, you're going to start tipping your tailbone to the back upwards towards the sky. It creates a chain reaction through your spine, a ripple through each vertebra of the spine, eventually unfolding head, neck, and shoulders and chest, extension into the thoracic spine over there. Keep that connection in the tummy. Often here, what happens, we hang into our back. So that's also not really going to help us. We want to actively stretch that back by hugging the belly up against the spine, keeping the back safe, and then getting that extension through my upper mid back with the breastbone pushing forward and the chest staying high and up. Okay, press your shins into the ground and we're going to go again, starting your movement from your tailbone. Tailbone goes underneath you, one little disc at a time, feeling that stretch between each little vertebra if you can, and then rippling through the whole spine. Allow the crown of the head to lengthen down, the tail to curl under, shins pressing into the floor, hands pressing into the ground. Take a breath in, exhale, tip the tailbone back and up, one vertebra at a time. Here we go. Unfolding head, neck, and shoulders and chest. Let's do one more, and we're gonna go tailbone under, one vertebra at a time. Connect, scoop deep in, pressing the earth away. Use your breath as you go. Broad shoulders. Inhale, exhale, tipping the tailbone back up, one vertebra at a time. Collarbones, neck, head, and shoulders up to the front. And that is your cat stretch. So a version I like to add to the cat stretch is where we keep our tailbone tucked under, we roll through the spine, we keep that flexion in the spine, especially the lumbar spine. I'm using a little bit of my glutes to help me keep that core. And then in that position, I'm going to feel like I'm leaning back with my lower back, pushing my mat forward with my hands, creating traction in my back. So the idea is that you keep your tailbone away from your heels. You're not going back into a stretch like a child pose. You tucking the tail under and you keeping the space between your heel and your bum cheeks and between your tummy and your thighs. And what that does, it creates an extra stretch through that lumbar lower spine. Okay. Keep the shoulders feeling of squeezing a coin between the bum cheeks, pressing the earth forward with your hands, pressing the earth back with your shins. Or you can also just feel like you're trying to split your mat in two halves. Hands pushing the front half forward, shins pushing the back half back, and creating that traction, creating your own traction by activating the tummy, squeezing the seats, and pushing back. Lovely extra stretch that you can add on after your cat stretch. Exhaling, caressing back. Challenge yourself by trying to go a little bit deeper. Keep those shoulders away from the ears and bringing yourself all the way up. And we're going to do one more. We're going to tuck the tail, we're going to connect the tummy, and we're going to press back. And that's so lovely for the lower back to bring yourself back. Okay, so another add on to that stretch is if we turn our feet out, our knees internally rotated, and we're now going into that curve of the lumbar spine. Again, like our cat stretch is just a variation on the theme. For this one, you're still squeezing and clenching a coin between the bum cheeks, opening up the shoulders and keeping that core, and you're going to go back again, creating traction. So it's the same movement pattern. The difference is that the knees are internally rotated. So you're going to feel it a little bit more in your groin, perhaps in the groin or on the outside of the leg. Okay, if your knees are unhappy, just be careful here because of that positioning that we are in. Do what you can. Don't force the movement. See what your body can cope with. For myself, I'm feeling that good stretch to my inner groin. Okay, so anything around that hip complex, all those muscles around the hips, if they stretch, they will definitely help the lower back to loosen up, to ease up. Okay, so these muscles are all in close proximity to each other. The glutes, the inner thighs, the outer thighs, all the muscles through the pelvic floor. So any one that you stretch will have a knock-on effect on the others. So just allowing that back to open up as you stretch. Tuck the tail under, lift through that belly, keep that coin trying to go further back. The deeper you go, obviously, the better the stretch. But take care of your knees, as I said, and all the way up. It's a really yummy stretch if you tight around those groin muscles. There you go. I'm going to do one more inhale and we go. Exhale, keeping that curve in the back, pressing back and all the way up. There we go. This stretch is a little bit more for your upper back, thoracic spine. So what you're going to do is align your elbows with your shoulders, hands are parallel to each other. And it's a feeling of, if you have to do a plank, that's the feeling, pressing the earth away and lifting out of your shoulder joints. Okay. Now, just to mobilize those shoulders, we're going to go into a little drop of the chest towards the floor. So it's like you're pressing your breastbone down to the earth. And because you're doing that, your scapula, your muscles on your back over here, or the scapular bones, they're going to glide in towards each other, what we call a retraction in those shoulder blades, and then a protraction, flattening those blades onto the back. And what it does, it lifts you out of your shoulder joints. Okay. Keep the connection in your tummy. Remember, we did our cat stretches and all of that. So now you're keeping that connection through your lower abdominals. We don't want just to arch the back. We keep that integrity of the spine as we do this. Mobilizing shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And as always, you can go up to 8 or 10, depending on how your body feels on the day. This is just to mobilize the shoulders. Great for postural training as well. I do this with my clients that also need some strength in their upper mid back, or if you're going to be doing some arm work in conjunction with that postural alignment of the spine. So a great all-rounder exercise to keep in your toolbox when those shoulders are feeling tight. Up to 10, like I said, keeping the connection in the tummy as we go. Okay, we've woken up those shoulder blades. So what we're going to do from there is we're going to feel like we're pushing back with the tailbone as we bring our hands into a little pyramid. I would call it a triangle as well, a little pyramid position. So elbows can be a little bit wider. Actually, they should actually be under your shoulders if you can. And what you're going to do is you're going to push your tailbone to the back as you bring your arms into a little steeple above your head or behind your head and pushing your chest towards the floor. Okay. Then you bring yourself all the way up from there. Lots of tummy to bring you up into this position. Taking an inhale, we're going to go exhale. You might have to adjust your knee position here. If you're not feeling enough of a stretch when you get into that point there, what you need to do is move your knee slightly back so that your weight falls towards your breastbone and you're using the weight of your chest to stretch underneath your arm and into the lats. So again, we're waking up, stretching into lats. Okay, it's a great lat stretch at the same time. So let's try a few more, and you'll feel it. It's a lovely stretch if you tight in your shoulders or your lats. Okay, so going forward and back like that. Okay, Try and keep the integrity of your spine, the space between the ear and the shoulder. So we don't want hunched over shoulders. This only works if we're working our back muscles and working our postural muscles. So when you push back, keep that shoulder back in its socket. Don't allow it to pop up. It won't feel the same. And obviously, if it's not in the correct alignment, you're prone to injuring yourself or pulling a muscle or just not using the right movement mechanics when you're moving those arms. Okay? Shoulders away from the ears as you go. Exhale, exhale, exhale. At the end of your stretch, you can turn your head to the side and just try and get your chest closer to the floor. Like I said, you can push your knees wider back. And all it does, it pushes your chest further down, gravity pushing on that chest down, allowing the muscles to stretch. Okay. And just turning your head the other way if you can, gentle on your neck, and then you can bring yourself all the way up. In that forearm position, where your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, what you're going to do is take one arm straight. Okay, so obviously when your arm goes straight, your body will slant to the side. And I want you to look up to the side that your body's slanting away from, and then bring it back down. Okay, other side, we're going to straighten the arm. And obviously, as you straighten that arm, your torso or your upper shoulder girdle rotates, and then you're looking towards that side, rotating into that thoracic spine and bringing it back. And you can alternate it. Right arm looking up, rotate. Feel that you're stretching from your middle of your back, between your middle upper back, between your shoulder blades. As you straighten that arm, feel like you're squeezing a coin between that space between the two shoulder blades, and then stretching that arm out as much as you can as you try and rotate as far as you can. Use the straight arm's hand into the floor, press it away, get a little bit more work there. Try not to kick the tail back here. Keep the knees and the hips in the same line, and your connection in your tummy, very important. And then back down. Okay, so we're going to stretch. Press that hand to the earth. Rotate your torso coin between the shoulder blades and looking up towards that side, feeling the stretch on the side of the neck as well. Down, and we go straight arms or straight one arm and then rotating to the side. And you're going to go up to 8 to 10 reps of these. Less if you need on the day, more if you feel you can handle more or if you need more stretch. Great postural tool as well to train that upper back and neck, shoulders, the whole line of the spine actually, and stretch, looking up and down, and stretch and looking up towards that side and down. I'm going to do 2 more, stretch and rotate and down, and we go stretch and rotate and down. And then from there, we're going to straighten the left leg out to the back, and then bring your right hand behind your head or on your shoulder actually. The elbows are on the same line, and you're going to just continue into a rotation there. So you're increasing the amount of rotation through your upper back, but your lower back also obviously helping that, and bring it back down. Okay. You can start with both knees on the floor, and you'll feel a bit more restricted as in how far you can go. And that's probably great for your upper mid back, working on mobility and range of motion there as well. If that feels too tight for you, you could take that leg back. If you want to focus just a little bit more on mobility, then it's better probably to take that leg back. Okay? If you want to work on a bit of strength and postural alignment, then bring that leg in. Okay? 8 to 10, as I always say, up to you. See what your body can cope with on the day. And then at the end, what you can do is go right out, straighten your arms, right out, stretching your arm to the sky and bringing that arm under to the opposite side. This is a nice full rotation through your upper mid back. You can hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not a stretch that you haven't seen before. I'm sure you've seen that many times. It's just nice to have some variations on the theme sometimes. Okay. So just to keep it square and even, let's do the other side, starting either with legs straight or bent. Let me do a couple with knees bent. So that's the first version, and to the shoulder, and we go up. See, my rotation is a bit more limited when I do both knees down, but that's great for training that upper back. Okay, forearm into the floor on the opposite side. Here we go. And we go forward. You might even notice one side of your body feeling tighter than the other side. But that's why we do all these things, to keep things as even as possible, working on the weaknesses in the one side of the body, the tightnesses, because it all affects one side affects the other side. Okay, 8 to 10. Okay, with straight leg, getting a bit more rotation. Feels much easier to do that movement, indulge in that mobility. And if you use your abdominals, which you are doing here, but if you're aware of that connection between the floating ribs and the hips, and you keep that integrity, you're also doing great core work. Actually doing a plank as well. Planks are great full body workouts. Okay. And at the end, you can then take your arms straight out, take that top arm up. You can keep that hand on the floor. Big rotation through your shoulders and chest. Keep the connection in the tummy and take that arm all the way under for a nice spiral and rotation through your back. Holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And coming in. Okay, just some added stretches for your hips over here. So what you can do is then just bring your opposite hand to the knee. And it is for the pelvic complex, stretching that pelvic complex by pressing the heels of the hands into the inside of the knee. You can curl your back, so you can round your back, pressing knees up, hands pushing legs down. And it's a co-contraction resistance from the 2 points, lifting out of the pelvic floor. A great way to open up the lower back and the hips. So pressing, and you can do a couple of push and pull just to get you into the movement pattern. Pull the knees up, push the knees down. Pull the knees up, push the knees down with the hands. And as you do that, you maintain connection to your core and a little bit of a curl, a C curve as we call it, in and up. Okay. So up to 10. This feels nice. If your hips are tight, this actually feels really good. Okay. Up to 10. And at the end, what you can do is keep the tension, pushing hands down, pressing legs up, keep steady tension for another 10. Keep that scoop of the pelvis. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. And then you can also do with the other hand across. If you're like me, obsessed with symmetry, might want to just change your hands over just to eliminate any compensation that might have happened there. It's really good. I'm feeling that lower back opening up. You can do the same kind of thing with your hands on the outside of the legs. Okay, so just the opposite. Okay. Hands crossed over, round that back, and then you're going to push and pull. Same effect, push and pull. Using the connection in the core. Bit of a core in between the bum cheek, that helps. And a stretch into that lumbar spine. Also, make sure you're opening up your shoulders. You're getting a beautiful stretch across that shoulder if you keep it open and wide. Up to 9 and 10. You can cross the arms the other way around after your 10th one. And then hold it steady. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep those shoulders open. 3, 2, and 1. Do the other way around if you need to. Okay. And then a combination of the two, either on the inside of the leg, opposite hands to knees, and you can press and hold it steady. And you can do a cat stretch for me. As you're in this position, you tuck your tail under, you press with the heels of the hands into the inside of the knee, lift the chest forward up like your cat stretch, like we did right in the beginning of this video, and then tuck the tail under, scoop through the pelvis, round the spine. And we go, lifting the chest up, opening collarbones forward and high, that tailbone sticking out to the back, long tail, and then use your tailbone first. So tuck the tail first and create a ripple through your upper back, neck, head, shoulders following and pressing down. And we're going to go up to 10 of these. Keeping the pressure with your hands and opening up that back. Beautiful traction that it creates through your spine as you do it. Okay? What you do on the one side, you generally want to do with the other arm. So whether you do 5 or 10 reps, choose what reps work for you, and then do it with the other hand crossed over. Same feeling, tucking the tail, rounding the back, and pressing and lifting the chest and rounding the back. Tuck the tail and pressing and lifting up. Same thing outside of the legs, whatever reps you want to do. Cat stretches, rounding the back, pushing the knees down, pulling the hands up, and then doing your cat stretch from there. Allowing that spine to straighten out, round, 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 scoop, and we go. Tailbone back, chest high and forward, and we go round, round, round. Tuck the tail, and cat stretch one vertebra at a time, chest high and forward, up. I'm going to do 2 more because it's such a yummy stretch. Rounding up. And tailbone back, chest high and forward. Elongate that spine. Keep the shoulders wide. And rounding up. And coming forward. Up with the chest. What you do with one arm in front, you do with the other arm in front. So just make sure you do that. Pause your video. That's why we have videos, to just get the technique right. So a lot of the movements we've done now is with our arms in front of us. Yeah, all crossed over, right? And I always want to make sure that I also take my arms behind me and work strength and posture in that way. Okay. So with the next one, you'll be doing that. Your hands just behind you gently, fingers can face in towards the buttocks or out to the side, depending on what's comfortable for your shoulders. The idea is that you're squeezing a coin between your shoulder blades and you're puffing that chest forward up. We don't want this kind of look where we round the shoulders and everything stays tight in front. We want to lift that breastbone. See if the shoulders can pull back and depress into the back over there. So that's what you're looking for. Your tummy is always tight, as we always do that. And I want you to literally just go, chest drops down. So think of where your breastbone is going. Breastbone forward, right? And then your breastbone drops down into a little curve. So almost like you're going into that rounded shoulder position and then doing the opposite of that. Chest starts lifting up, forward, towards the sky, and you open up that neck and throat. Okay. I'm bending my arms slightly. It also obviously depends on how long your arms are. I've got quite long arms, so I've got to bend them a little bit to get that pressure into the floor. Some of you might have straight arms and do this, and that's absolutely fine. See what works for you. What I am doing is I'm pushing the earth away with my hands, my heels of my hands as I do this, rounding the back, and then lifting the chest. I'm still squeezing my feet. Glute activation, going between the bum cheeks. I'm pressing my heels of my feet together. So it becomes an active stretch throughout the body, rounding and puffing that chest, okay? 8 to 10 repetitions, keeping those shoulders wide. And if you've trained your shoulders like I did a few days ago, I can feel how tight that is around my shoulder. So I probably need this quite a lot. At the end of your movement, hold your nose towards the sky. Keep the nape of the neck long. Keep the integrity, the space of the at the back of the neck. I always say think of holding a small apple in the back of the neck. Okay, so we're gonna go looking over towards the right side, keeping the collarbones long. Imagine your nose being a paintbrush and you painting your ceiling from right to left side. Gently maneuvering the neck. Okay, gently keeping the space at the back of the head between the skull and the top of your shoulders. Okay, and that should just feel like a nice gliding movement. If it's uncomfortable, just be careful. Okay, side to side, a few of those, keeping the hands pressing into the earth, tummy tight, chest high. And bring it back to the middle and looking up. And that just feels good doing the opposite of what we've done with arms in front of us. Opening up that chest, making sure that the back body and the front body gets as much work done, that we're not hyper focused on having arms in front, but also being able to stretch our arms behind us. And in that way, being able to do very different movements with great alignment and postural positioning. To end off with, I'm just going to cross my legs in front of me. You can continue sitting with your soles of your feet together. It's a much deeper stretch through your hips. This is a little bit more comfortable. Choose what works for you on the day. Both versions, nothing is incorrect. Both versions have their own um, function or their own benefits. We're going to bring the one forearm onto the floor, reaching up and over. I just want to do a nice side sweeping motion, oblique abdominals, rolling through the spine. Keep the connection in the tummy. Bring the hands all the way over to the other side, forearm onto the floor. Try and keep both buttocks down to the ground and then bring yourself up back to center. And then we go to the other side, forearm onto the floor, opposite bum cheek grounded. Reach that arm. Try and get this top arm nice and parallel to the floor and pull that shoulder back into its socket. Okay, all these postural positions, very important. From there, you're going to scoop this arm forward, getting that lovely QL stretch at the back and then walking forward, continuing the back stretch, walking those arms as far out as you can, both buttocks to the ground, and then open to the other side, this buttock to the ground as we reach up through that oblique and bringing ourselves up to the middle. Let's do two more. You can do as many as you like on the day. Reach, get that top up nice and long, shoulder away from the ears, QR as you go forward, buttocks to the floor, reach those arms as far out as you can. Keep the connection in the tummy. And remember to breathe, guys. Breathing so important, especially when you stretch. It helps to enhance those stretches as you move. And our last one, reaching over, long top arm, coming forward into your quadratus lumboris stretch. Walking those hands through the center, all the way to the other side, forearm to the ground, grounded opposite bum cheek, back to your oblique abdominals, stretch, and then up to the middle. Good, guys. That is our little session for today. Great mobility work. These exercises are also great if you, for instance, want to train your back on the day as a warm up, as a postural set up to train your back muscles, to train your shoulders even, because it gets you moving through that correct postural alignment. So use it the way you need it on the day, or as just a back stretch. We did great lower back stretching, we did great upper back stretching as well. So yes, start your video, repeat it if you need to. Let us know what else we should be posting for you on our videos. We on Instagram and on Facebook at Core Pilates, our YouTube channel at Bernadine Jonathan. Please subscribe if you like our videos. And thank you for joining us. See you next time.